So it is an interesting situation, but it's much better than the retail job that I worked before I was
Well,
doing.
good for you. But you're able to do it now full time?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
Good for you,
I've
man.
got the
That's
whole
cool.
business tied into it and everything. And, I mean, I'm blessed to have a successful wife. So, I mean, that kind of
That
helps.
helps.
So respect women, but, I wanted to, before we kind of end this, I just, and I'm going to catch you off guard a little bit with this maybe, but is there anything you wanted to ask me? Anything that you wanted to, bounce off of me? Any questions you had for me? Anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask more just what offends you the most right now? Like by people like me or anybody else, like what's offending you the most right now, either just in YouTube or people, the left or anybody?
Offended is the wrong word, but I do cringe when I see male feminist kind of virtue signal, kind of, always talking about, like, I can't stand when these guys or these far left people pretend that they care about minorities or women or anything. They don't care. I mean, they use them as circus animals is what I continue to say. I mean, just like my community manager, she's, very proud, very, very proud lesbian, very, very proud, LGBT, she puts her flag everywhere. When I brought her on, I didn't introduce her as like, hey, look at my gay community manager.
Well, you just did it now, though, a
No,
little
I
bit.
did it now, but I'm saying, but and the point is I told her this in private. I was like, I'm never gonna, brand you that. And she goes, no, you better brand me that because I'm proud of it. And she's like, but I get what she knows why I get frustrated with it, because they identify people and their accomplishments based on their sexual preferences and their race so much. And it's like, how about just like Siobhan is in the community manager position for Geeks and Gamers for one reason and one reason only, because I trust her. She's done a phenomenal job. It has nothing to do with her preference of what she does in her own private life. So I have people on my team that are gay that I've never said a word about it because they're not really as vocal about it. I get tired of the virtue signaling, but offended is the wrong word, because
So what's your
it's
definition
hard to offend.
What's your definition of virtue signaling?
People that get on social media and preach about things that they don't truly care about. So again,
how do you know what they care about?
well, because you don't have to, like, again, I talked about this earlier. When you talk about that you're actively against, women being raped, who isn't? Who isn't against racism? Who isn't against cancer? And they want special treatment. Like, they want to be like, oh, you're so nice because you're against women being raped. It's like, no, okay, yeah, that's kind of like normal for every human. I don't, why do you think that you deserve special treatment? Like, don't rape women. Okay. Yeah, I agree. But they take that as like a man looks at a woman and he's raping them. That's the kind of the standard on social media. Don't rape women. Okay. We all agree on this.
I mean, you're
by the
taking it
way,
to a pretty big extreme. Is there a more or less extreme example that you can think of recently that bothered you?
God, I mean, you could go on Twitter right now. I mean, I just saw somebody that made a thing where it says, don't have sex with dogs, don't have sex with animals, don't have sex with women, don't have sex with drunk women, don't have and it's like, okay. I mean, I don't, what
So
state
are you against this? Like, let's
making?
talk. Do you want to do a hot button issue?
I think, well, the thing is I think that by making these things so matter of fact as people do on social media, you're desensitizing people to the reality of how bad it is when it happens. Much like when everybody calls somebody a racist because they have an opinion. When I was growing up and you called someone a racist, that was a serious accusation, and the person that was being accused of that needed to be really looked at, and you need to be really concerned if this person was called a racist. In 2019, you're called a racist and you're probably like, okay, no big deal. Like, who cares? Because it's so much now. These people are they've taken these words that should carry weight, accusations that should mean something, and they have desensitized us to the point where we don't even pay attention when somebody is accused of it anymore.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree with that one. I think we're on the same page because I think there's a difference between ignorance and racism that a lot of people fall a line into. And I think there's people, I've done a couple of videos on this already. They're usually better performers than anything else, but it's like they called Tim Allen a racist for not knowing that card game he did.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did a video on that one.
It was just like, and it's like, I don't believe Tim Allen's a racist. And I know he said the N word and done things in the past that are questionable, but still, like, I don't believe he's a racist. And it's like, we immediately jump to that card. And I think you're making a valid point of, we have to be more careful of these words that these accusations, and it's, again, cancel culture, all of it, because we are desensitizing a lot of serious issues. So I'm with you on that. But the hot button I was going to go to, like, do you feel like Marvel is forcing diversity into the movies?
Absolutely.
And is that a problem? Why is it a problem?
Because you don't need to force diversity. You are basically telling women and minorities that they need your help, you great white saviors, and they don't. They don't need any help. They're great. They're talented, and if they apply themselves, they can get the job if they want the job. They don't need the great white help, the great white hope to give them. Let me reach down my great white hand and help you, you little minority, your little woman. They don't need the help. Scarlett Johansson is one of the greatest action stars in the world. You know what I mean? And the moment she reached that point is the moment now they go after her if she says one wrong thing, because she's a woman who's successful now. You know, when they can utilize this woman to elevate their own personal platform or this minority, then suddenly, oh yes, we need to help women and minorities. But the moment the woman or the minority has the opinion that they don't agree with, suddenly they become the target of all of their vitriol. And I don't understand it. Just like the whole, I watched the Endgame yesterday with my mom and my wife. My mom hadn't seen it yet, and so I wanted my mom to watch it. The whole woman scene on the battlefield towards the end, it's just cringe as all hell. I don't understand it. I don't understand what the point of it is. It's unnecessary. You already have, like, Gamora, outside of Captain America, Gamora is my favorite character in the MCU. It's not because she's
I wouldn't fight you on that one because I don't like her that much.
Well,
I'm with you on the scene. I'm with you on this Endgame moment. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love Zoe Saldana, so that has a lot to do with it.
Why.
But
Okay.
I do love Gamora as a character too. But
is she hotter in the green skin? So are you like Kirk?
She's just hot, period. But that green does, I mean, Geeks and Gamers green a little bit, you know? But anyway, yeah, that woman scene was annoying. The Brie Larson stuff is aggravating because that, to me, and I've probably heard I've made a lot of Brie Larson videos because I can't stand Brie Larson because of her comments and the fact that Captain Marvel, to me, was specifically positioned to be a successful film. Like, they protected this movie. They gave her the teaser.
Do you believe the conspiracy that Disney bought tickets to it?
I don't get into those accusations much. At the end of the day, Captain Marvel was teased at the end of Infinity War, a movie that did over $1 billion, and it played right before Endgame, a movie that did almost $3 billion. It was strategically positioned to be successful. It's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is the most successful movie universe in the history of the business. I don't buy into a lot of the conspiracy aspect of it, because if that was the case, why didn't Solo make $1 billion? Because they sure didn't want that to fail. So I don't really, I mean, again, I know that discussion's out there. I haven't really entertained it much because I don't think there's enough tangible evidence to support it. But I do think there's enough tangible evidence to look at how it was released, when it was released, and it's really easy to point to how it was successful and why it was successful. So that's my stance on it. But yeah, with Brie Larson, I just like her comments and the things she said. If a man said that, they would be just destroyed. They would be absolutely destroyed in every aspect. I don't care what a 40-year-old white woman has to think about, I don't know, home improvement. It wasn't meant for her. It wasn't made for her. I don't know. You know, like, could you imagine a man saying that? No, you couldn't. And that's my whole stance. If it's okay for everybody, I don't have a problem with what anybody says. If it's okay for everybody. But when you are allowed to say it based on your race, your gender, or your political position, then I have a problem with it. I believe everybody should be able to say whatever the hell they want. But Hollywood will annihilate you if you have wrong think. They will.
They're also groupthink. They all think the same thing, to be honest, because of the bubble. We've talked about that. But what I was going to say is, I guess my heart of the issue, not to keep hanging, but like,
no, it's fine.
They're like doing Shang-Chi and Eternals and diversifying their lineup. Does that bother you?
It does bother me because they are showing that it is a specific thing that they are trying to do from the Marvel executives. They've actually actively talked about it, and it's like like me. I have a diverse team at Geeks and Gamers. Why?
So
because I've ran into.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, why do you need to talk about it? What is the point of it? Because when you talk about it, you turn people off. You aggravate people. The people that are asking for representation will never be satisfied, no matter what you do. No matter what you say, no matter how much political correctness you put out there, they will always ask for more. They live in a victim culture. They live in this endless rabbit hole of victimization. So once you give them the African-American representation that they claim they want, then they'll move on to the next demographic, and then they'll move on to the next, and then they'll start eating that African-American demographic up when that is no longer useful. And look at somebody like Candace Owens, Black female, very well spoken, very intelligent. She's a conservative Trump supporter, so therefore she's the devil. What happened to respecting women?
The girl from The Flash?
No. Candace Owens, she's a political person. She's into politics. She actually created a YouTube channel called Red Pill Black because she used to be a liberal. And then she got red pilled, and now she's a very, very prominent voice within the conservative movement, and they just destroy her with the worst things you can say. We have a black female within our community. She's one of the mods here at Geeks and Gamers, and the people that are always coming after me, for my Brie Larson stuff. Well, I'm not going to say her name. Everybody that watches my channel knows who she is, but I'm not going to say her name. She was supportive of me, and these people that claim I'm the racist sexist said racist things about her on Twitter. We all reported this person for saying it. It's like, you're calling me the racist. You just made a racist remark and she's the sweetest person you'll ever know. But the moment, and this is what bothers me, they don't mind calling me a racist and a sexist, even though there's no proof of that. But the moment a black female speaks up, sweetest person in the world, by the way, speaks up and says, Jeremy's awesome, Jeremy's also, always been supportive of me, they call her the racist names. These are the types of people that bother me.
Supporting you, a racist, so come on, that makes sense.
Exactly, and it's just, so offended is the wrong word, aggravated is more of the word. I don't really get offended. I could tell you some stories off air of jokes that I've made with friends that are of different, backgrounds and races that would, that's what I do. I think that everybody should be able to joke on everybody, and everybody should feel. And now, if you ever come at me privately, like, hey, that was a little across the line, just like, if I'm not religious, but I have people on my team that are religious, and sometimes I'll drop an F-bomb when I'm talking to them on the phone. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. I'm my bad. I didn't mean. He's like, I don't care. I'm like, it's not that you don't care. It's about whether I agree or disagree with you. I try to respect you to the best of my ability. Sometimes I'll say stuff, and I know they don't want to hear it, but they're not going to just.
Are you okay asking about pronouns before you talk to someone?
Fuck that. Fuck that.
There he is.
I'm going to ask that shit. Fuck you. That's how I feel about that. So ban me from Twitter, please. I'm actually wanting to get banned from Twitter because Twitter is just a waste of time.
Twitter is so toxic. I was gonna say I'm with you. I'm with you surprisingly more than you think. At the same time, I don't agree with everything you're saying, but I respect what you're saying because I don't think you're saying it in a hateful place. And I think your whole points of the forced diversity is valid. I've had this argument. I'm going to try and do more of it on the channel, but this idea that why Marvel doesn't need to take credit for it. Just do it. To me, that action speaks louder than words.
That's my favorite Star Wars character right there.
Yeah, it's like, just do it, and don't. The fact that they need to take credit for it is, I think you make a very valid point. As a liberal, I'm hearing you and I'm learning new things because I think you're right. It's never, if you give into a mob, even if it's a righteous mob, it's never enough. The mob will always want more. And I think that is very truthful and sadly accurate. And I think that people don't see it. They think it's for the right, the mob's for the good. So this is okay that we do this.
And for the record, there's a right-wing mob out there too. And they've came after me. And this is very well documented here on this channel. Jessie Milestone, who is a contributor for Geeks and Gamers. She also has her own channel, Mindless Entertainment. Jessie. So Josiah runs my YouTube channel. Josiah is a very, very well-known, outspoken Christian conservative, and very, very proud of that. And I'm glad that he lets everybody know where he stands on that. So he made a video on the whole Disney pulling out of Georgia over the whole abortion issue. He made a video on that. Now, he didn't take a hard stance on the issue. He was kind of covering it, but people knowing where he stands automatically know where he stands. You know what I mean? Even if he's giving an objective report on it, it's still going to be viewed as bias.
Yep.
That's fine. Most of our audience agrees with everything Josiah said. So Jessie calls me up and she goes, hey, she says, can I make a rebuttal to Josiah's video? Because I don't agree. I said, absolutely. So she made a video. Video got absolutely destroyed here on the channel. I mean, the most downvotes we've ever had. I lost more subs than I've ever lost. And I had people saying calling, oh, Geeks and Gamers is a baby killer now. You're baby killers. And it's just like, what, Jeremy, do you support this? Motherfucker, I support what people want to say. I don't control what people say on my channel. I support Geeks and Gamers is about individuals having individual opinions. Geeks and Gamers does not take a stance, an official stance on anything, but the individuals that make Geeks and Gamers up do. So I did a live stream. And I just said, I'm going to tell you right now, if you think, because people are like, you need to fire her or unsubscribing. So I was like, here's what you can do. You can unsubscribe right now. I will never get rid of Jesse because Jesse represents everything that is good about Geeks and Gamers, is difference of opinions. She went into the lion's den knowing she was going to get obliterated by all of you and still stood her ground.
Did people respect her once you sort of said that to them?
There was still a lot of kickback. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of like when I was saying 98% of cops are good or whatever. You're like, it's hard to determine that. It's hard to determine the actual number of people. You can go back to that live stream. I think I left it public. It got like, I don't know, 80,000 views. And people definitely overwhelmingly respected my position. But there was a lot of mean things said about her. And again, it's hard to tell when you have this many followers and this many views of like, are people trolling or whatever? You know what I mean? There was enough things said about her that bothered me because Jessie is a friend and I care about her as a human outside of the fact that she's a colleague also. But there were some things that were said that I just felt like were definitely for YouTube reasons too, because YouTube will police comments and they will hold you responsible for your fucking comment section, which is the stupidest thing ever. But for that reason and the reasons that I didn't like that they were saying it about Jessie, definitely comments that I felt were way over the line. And but she knows I have her back. And at the end of the day, I told her that I've never been prouder of Geeks and Gamers than that day, because I don't care how many subs we lost. It showed that we are not an echo chamber and that the people that I have on my team don't just carry out whatever talking points I want them to say. And I also had an opportunity to kind of stand up for her too, you know, because I had people, this is probably the most difficult topic in our country today is abortion right now, you know, in terms of like how passionate people feel about that topic. And to have people on my brand, on my channel, on opposite sides of that discussion, that makes me happy that, well, that's what we have here. And it gave us an opportunity to show that. So there are right-wing SJWs out there too, and they will demand, hey, you have the wrong think. She said something we don't like, Jeremy. You need to fire her. You clearly don't know who the fuck I am, because that's never happening.
You're like,
ever.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
And so I was very proud of her for that. And she hasn't made a video since then, and but she's been traveling a lot, and everyone's like, oh, he fired you. She tweeted about it the other day. She goes, hey, Jeremy, did you fire me? Because everybody says you fired me. I'm like, Jessie can't get rid of me ever. So it'll never happen, but she's awesome.
So you just convey I think the biggest is just loyalty. That's the thing I want moving forward. And so good for you for sticking to it. And I feel like I had that, but I'm going to make sure I have it now. That's for damn sure. But I think that's a good key to success, is just keeping people around you that keep them happy, give them their voice. And make sure that they feel, you know, they can say whatever they want. I think you're creating a good space, man. Keep at it.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is the bigger the platform gets, you know, with Geeks and Gamers. I mean, we're averaging 5 million views a month, which is insane. I remember when we hit like 3 million and that was like 4 or 5 months ago, for the like 30 days. I was like, man, we will never top this again. And now we're averaging 5 million a month. We've been up as much as 10 million a month. And again, like you talked about, I have to post multiple videos a day. I have to like strategically, you know, I have to know when to post them, what time to post them, how far apart you spread them out, what topics. And it is a lot of work, but I'm very proud of it that we have what we have. And we're just going to continue to bring more diverse voices on here. And when I say diverse voices, I mean that by opinion, not everything else that the mainstream media wants to try to claim as diversity. Diversity is about opinion, and that's it. I don't give a shit about what people look like, sleep with, whatever. You know, I think I can make this announcement because the video will be back up. I think so. I think I'm going to, you know, I may have to edit this out, but if not, if the video isn't up by the time I post this entire interview, I will take this out. But the Helpful Mexican will be returning to the Geeks and Gamers channel. Andy, if you're not the Helpful Mexican, I'll talk to you about the Helpful Mexican. But the Helpful Mexican will be returning.
I was just celebrating because I'm sure
it's great. It's great. It's a great show from Ivan Ortega, and he's returning to Geeks and Gamers. He's been away for a while, but he is back now. And yeah, so we have a lot of cool things going. But I will say, Andy, it has truly been an honor and a pleasure to have you here. It is kind of surreal for me to have you on my channel talking about this stuff after everything, after seeing how successful you were and everything you went through. I did pay really close attention to your story, man. I really did, even after the fact. And as much as we talked about the fact that I claim I didn't like you, I didn't know you, I didn't like the idea, the persona you had. And it's I was unfair to judge you per se, but at the same time, it's like you said, you were in a weird space at that time too, and you weren't particularly proud of it. But I do think you're a really good guy. I think you've been through hell, and I'm anything I can do to help you in your journey to get back to the top, man. I extend my hand to you, man. I really do.
Well, and thank you. And unless you turn into some crazy actual racist, you have my sword as well here, because as I got to know you, it was a very fascinating conversation. We don't always agree, but I don't think that's a problem, right? We have to be able to have these dialogues as a society, or we all will crumble. And so I'm very grateful for you to extend a hand while I've been down. I won't forget it. Well, who knows what'll happen? But that's the funny thing about life, right, man? Who would have thought we'd be talking? I've had so many of those conversations. I enjoy every single one of them. I'm just grateful to be back. I'm grateful to finally have a voice back, that the chains are off. I can start making content again. And I hope we can do some more collaborations. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So is there I know we talked about your Kickstarter, Popcorn Planet. Is there anything else that you would like to plug, or any other links?
Well, I mean, we hit it, but yeah, that 100,000 subscriber would be awesome. Hit me up, hit the subscribe button over Popcorn Planet. I'm trying to find my voice. I'm going to start doing some new experiments. I got another Change My Mind Nerd Edition coming out. But yeah, what would you like to see, Jeremy? You're a clear now, and you've seen some of my content. You see me now. Mm-hmm. What do you think I should be doing?
You definitely have a lot of talent, and you have a lot of vision. So even when you're talking about this Kickstarter idea, that is really interesting forward thinking that you have, because it's showing like, I've been through this and there's other people that have been through this. I view myself as someone that has, a story to tell, but I can also reach out to other people that are telling that. That shows your talent. You have a lot of talent in this. There's no doubt about that. I think that because I've seen that, is it Nerd Wars? Is that what it is? Nerd Wars. I like that format a lot. At least the idea of it.
YouTube doesn't like that format.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't at all.
In fact, the show it's loosely based on movie fights is I've heard already gone down to once a month, because even Screen Junkies can't sustain that format on however many million they have now. Yeah, it's crazy. Really? It's a hard show to do just because the topics get old, but
and that's what I was going to get into, because right now you are where, even though, yeah, I mean, okay, my channel might be a little bit bigger than yours, but we're in the same space right now. We're still trying to get to that next level.
You have more views. I have more subs, I think, right?
No, I have more subs.
Oh, you do? That's right. No, yeah. Where are you at?
180, I think.
Okay, gotcha. I'm sorry, I missed you. Right, but I know your views are killing me. I thought you were at 80, but you're 180. Okay, my bad.
180, yeah, 180.
Yeah, you're crushing me from a views and sub standpoint right now.
Yeah, but I still feel like we're still in that same space right now in terms of like battling for the algorithm and trying to capitalize off of what we have. Plus, I would say most of your subs are probably not. Like how many subs did you have when you kind of really started this ball rolling again?
The channel was dormant for years and had about 80, and then it went down to about 75, 74 when I started, and now has ballooned back up to almost 100.
Okay.
Since I came back a few weeks ago. So I had a pretty big boost there at the finally of new folks, and then I had dormant people is what the problem is. And it's like, I'm still trying to figure out who the audience is.
Right. I would suggest, because you're obviously very, very intelligent when it comes to the movie business and movies in general, and a lot of the inner workings. I would suggest the same thing I do, little 10-minute little vlogs, from right there where you're at, based on current news, because that is the algorithm gold right now. So I just uploaded a video last night, late last night, Batwoman, because Batwoman is algorithm gold for me right now. All right.
Something new come out?
Ruby Rose did an interview like last week. People sent it to me where she's basically like, hey, we want this to be for everybody, yada, yada, yada. And so I took advantage of that to go, you don't do your man hate marketing if you want it to be for everybody. So now I feel like
Valid point.
they're shifting the focus to go, oh, we're going to play the victim card once everybody shits on this movie because we said we wanted it to be for everybody, but that's after you've already marketed it to say, respect women, hate men, yada yada yada. So video's already at like 70,000 views and it hasn't even been 24 hours because Batwoman is algorithm gold for me. Captain Marvel is algorithm gold. Star Wars is algorithm gold. Other topics, I did this thing on Benioff and Weiss, the Game of Thrones producers. It's got like 17,000 views. I uploaded around the same time as the Batwoman thing. But with current stuff like you talked about Black Widow, that was a really good topic a few days ago when the Black Widow producer or writer, was the writer or the producer?
Yeah, the writer came out a couple days ago or something.
Oh, so bad. And so that type of news when it breaks, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, those controversial kind of issues, where people are saying something, not that you're going to have the same take as me, because you're not going to have the same exact take as me, but your take is important because you have a voice, you have knowledge of this business, you have knowledge of this industry. Keep those around 10 minutes. I think that's the best bet.
10 minutes is the gold right now. That's what I've heard too. So you've echoed that. So all right, I will try. I usually get 8 to 15 is usually the range I try and stay in.
Yeah. And me, I mean, I know 10 minutes is the goal for YouTube right now for, ad breaks and YouTube's more friendly. I usually don't even focus on that. I mean, okay, Jeremy from the Quartering, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, and I don't know Jeremy per se. I mean, we know of each other, but I've learned a lot from Jeremy. I mean, the dude is incredible. And the way I've built my channel, because he and I were, I don't know, I think we were around the same subs when we were like 40, 50, 60,000 or something like that. We're not same, but close. And he just hit another stratosphere because he was doing like 3 videos a day and he was hitting these certain topics and he got in that altercation and he just took it to the next level. So I've based a lot of my template from watching him and learning from him, and how he's done it. And so that guy obviously knows, what's going on. So I've learned that, but I would definitely suggest that go for that 10-minute mark because it definitely helps. I should probably do the 10-minute stuff more often. I mean, like all of my videos are 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I'm looking at them right now.
Some of the topics we are forced to talk about, it's hard to stretch it out to 10 minutes.
I know, 4 minutes, 7 minutes, 4 minutes, 9 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. So, I mean, those are all my videos recently and not minus like podcasts and stuff like that or live streams. But
yeah, no, it's tough because I was out this whole last week, but yeah, I'm averaging now 1,000 to 2,000 a view on a video, and it depends. Like The Boys did really well suddenly. But for me, it's 3,000. To change my mind was the first big spike where I got 35,000 on that video. So I'm like, all right, they clearly want more of this genre of centrist Andy interacting with conservatives. So I feel like I'm going to try and go, because if I can lean myself as sort of a more liberal centrist, version that's okay for conservative audiences to be like, what, I don't mind it. Let's hear what he thinks. I feel like that is an area I can try and swim in. So we'll see. But all valuable feedback. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, we're going to wrap this up. So I don't know how long we went, but this is going to be a lot of content that we can. And I honestly, I don't care. Huh?
You have a lot of editing to do.
Yeah. Well, that's Josiah's job. So,
Sorry.
but yeah, he's great. Josiah's awesome. So he won't have no problem doing that. But if there's any of these clips you wanted to use for your channel, like little snippets, man, I won't have a problem with that at all. I'll send the file over to you. I really don't mind. But if there's any,
stitch together what works for you. And I was just saying, let's just do. I'll have you if you're down. Let's just do another Skype someday, and we'll record something for me. That way, I have an exclusive there. Let me think of a fun concept, but I'll take you up on it, and let's keep the dialogue going, man. I appreciate the chance to tell my story, and yeah, anything you can do to help promote the Kickstarter. All your fans, if they're watching still, the Kickstarter is I have 20 days left. So any other people are out there, or if you are watching at home and you want to give, please do what you can. I just it's like $5 for thousands of people. 1,000 people give $5. It's done.
Yep.
So I'm trying to sort of. I know I must have 1,000 fans left who will spring me $5. So that's my leg right now. I gotta Rocky and not give up and get it to that threshold.
I heard that, man. Well, Andy, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Everybody support Andy. His Kickstarter, the link will be in the description below. Popcorn Planet will be in the link in the description below. Other than that, for Andy, I've been Jeremy. Thank you for watching this video, and we will talk to you later. Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies,
hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.